Eric Ball at his 2-yard line. There's a flag down, and Ball goes down at the 19-yard line. And Boomer Esiason is ready to bring the troops out, but already Jerry Markbright will have to check out the penalty flag that was thrown down. So that's kind of a sloppy start to our opening kickoff here this afternoon at Mile High Stadium. But, of course, it gives the Broncos defense a chance to get themselves set out there, Beasley. Here's the call from Jerry Markbright.
Holding, number 53, receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And so the penalty call right away on Leo Barker of the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's take a look at the Bengals offense. Boomer Esiason with Ball and Brooks having another great year, and then all of that talented wide receiver as the Bengals come up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10, deep in their own territory, and Esiason is rushed right off the bat by Mecklenburg as he tried to get the ball to Eric Ball. All right, in passing situations, as we showed you the Bengals situation, their offensive line is really battered right now. Ken Moyer is in there. Krzyzewski is playing with a sore shoulder. Paul Jeton is in there, too, as Reimers and Joe Walter are out with injuries. They both have hamstring pulls. 2nd and 10, the ball is at the 10-yard line. Eric Ball. Good run by Ball. He is dragged down on the play by Tim Lucas up over the 15-yard line. Ball got hit head-on by Dennis Smith, but then bounced right off of that one and carries out for a good gain out to the 16-yard line. And it will be 3rd down and 5 coming up for the Cincinnati Bengals, and they're right up to the line of scrimmage and firing. 4 wide receivers into the game. Actually, James Brooks lines up at the top of your screen as a wide receiver. Esiason throws one incomplete. I really don't know who it was intended for because both Eddie Brown and Rodney Holman were there. I think it might have been Brown, but they must punt.
You know, that's an excellent start for the Denver defense. They were worried about the no huddle. They were worried about the quick play calling, but they really survived the first test. Just an excellent job. That time, you really couldn't tell who the ball was headed for. Boomer feels pressure, tries to get a timing pass. Take a look at the number of people. There are more Broncos in the area than there were Bengals.
Lee Johnson's first punt of the year. The left footer bangs it out. Kevin Clark is deep for the Broncos at the 27. And Lynn James is down there to make the tackle for Cincinnati as he pushes him back to the 26-yard line. What a great punt by Lee Johnson, 57 yards. Here's John Elway and the Bronco offense coming out onto the field right now. We'll start with their offensive line. They're banged up, too. Dave Weidel is in there along with his brother, Doug Weidel. Dave's in there for the injured Sean Farrell as he's out with a hamstring pull. And the backs and receivers along with John Elway. A whole new backfield. Gaston Green brought over from the Rams. Perryman's in there. Bobby Humphrey, of course, the holdout. And then in the 4-wide situation, there's the personnel that comes in. Steve Sewell being the 3rd down back. 1st and 10 Broncos. Gaston Green. Not much. To the 31, a short gain on the play. Let's take a look at the Bengals defense for you right now as we watch the unpile of Gaston Green. Green going back to the huddle. Here's the Bengals front 7. Lamar Rogers, a rookie out of Auburn, and Alfred Williams down at the bottom of your screen, their top draft choice, just into camp, and he is in there. He's the rookie out of Colorado, and there's their secondary. 2nd down now for Denver, and 9 yards to go. Elway's first pass, Shannon Sharp. And Shannon takes it for a 1st down out to the 42-yard line. David Fulcher comes over, but Shannon Sharp, a fine receiver for them.
Shannon Sharp was all alone in the flat, simply turns up. That's a nice start for the offense. Just a super start for his second play, coming out with a pass, using Elway's ability to his best. And remember, he's calling the shots. He's calling his own play.
That's right. Elway got told during training camp, during the preseason, you will call all the plays. And he called a nice one there, a 12-yard pass connection and a 1st down on the catch by Shannon Sharp. Gaston Green is the lone back, and he gets it. And he is tripped up by James Francis, the linebacker of the Bengals, out to the 46-yard line, a short gain for Green.
And there's John Elway signaling in personnel. He gives one quick hand signal, one motion. They know exactly what he means. Now he's got the personnel in. He's going to call a play that's set up for a 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7 situation. He's got about a 5 or 6 play option written on his hand, pre-discussed with Dan Reeves, and he's ready to go.
Reeves says he's doing a good job so far at calling the plays. 2nd down for the Broncos at their own 46. A draw play to Green. And again, the Bengals play the run pretty well as Green tried to go over the right side. And it will be 3rd down coming up, 3rd down and long coming up for the Denver Broncos. Bobby Humphrey not in the lineup. And Will McDonough told us on NFL Live earlier today that McDonough said that Humphrey holding out, and right now the Broncos are really perturbed to the point that they're starting to offer him around in a possible trade. They want a top draft choice.
You know, they told us in the meetings that they will stand pat. They will not renegotiate a player's contract with 2 years left. They are standing pat.
4 wide receivers in on 3rd down and 5. Steve Sewell in the backfield with Elway. The Bengals jump across, and they come across quickly. David Grant was in there. This is a free play. Michael Young, touchdown! Against the Bengals, we believe. Jerry Markbride will tell us.
Offside, defense, penalty decline, touchdown.
What a way to start. You can never relax as a defensive back. Rod Jones seeing the flag, hearing the whistle, thinking that the play was over. Young continuing to play, and a perfect pass. How smart is John Elway? He realizes there's your jump right there. Elway obviously pulling them offside with a signal call. He stays with the play. A perfect pass, perfect catch. Touchdown.
David Grant looked to be the Bengal player that jumped off. David Treadwell for the extra point. Gary Kubiak will hold. And he missed it, but there's a flag down. Treadwell also got drilled after he kicked it. So we have to wait and see what the call is here. Extra point is good. They say roughing the kicker. So the kicker penalty is marked off on the kickoff. And look at where Treadwell is teeing it up from. Midfield. Right in the middle of the F on the NFL. A line drive kick. Lynn James better stay in the end zone, and he does. Gee, a rough start for the Bengals as they give up a bomb on that play from Elway to Michael Young, 52 yards for the touchdown, and fall behind 7-0. And now on the sideline, they huddle up and they'll come right out to the line of scrimmage. But on the offside jump by David Grant, didn't it look like the Bengals froze a little bit and didn't go through with the play?
Exactly. That's exactly what Rod Jones did. He saw the flag and relaxed, and you can never do that. You can never assume that a play is over, especially when receivers are streaking down the field.
Now, so far, and they've only gotten 1 series in, we haven't seen James Brooks touch the ball yet. From the 20-yard line, that's Eric Caddis in motion. Here's Brooks. And he is dragged down by the Broncos. Warren Powers gets over there, and also Atwater, the safety, comes up and makes the hit on James Brooks.
Just excellent pursuit by the defense. They are doing one heck of a job so far. They are excited. They are pumped up. You can expect Atwater to be mixing it up all the time. He gets the first grab, and everybody else comes over to help. This is a pumped up, fired up defensive unit.
A loss of 1 on the play. Makes it 2nd down and 11. The ball at the 19 of Cincinnati. Here's Brooks again. And Carl Mecklenburg drags him down at the 20.
There are 3, 4, 5 Bronco jerseys in the area. That's what a defensive coach loves to see. Let's take a look at Mecklenburg. He's one of the best has-been over the years. Just screaming his way, fighting off an excellent effort at a block by Bell and making the play.
Here's a long bomb, and Atwater picks it off for the Broncos. It's 1st and 10 Denver at the 21-yard line of Cincinnati as the Bengals are having a nightmare of a start.
You know, we spoke to Atwater. He said that this year he wants to balance out his game. He is known as a hitter, known as a very aggressive defensive back. He said he wants to be an interceptor. Take a look at how he plays the ball like a center fielder, and then an excellent run. Has the wherewithal to know that he took a couple of steps before he fell down, so the defender did not touch him. Gets up, makes an excellent run back, and a good tackle by Ball there.
All right, this one might be going to replay and possibly to see.
The interception is being reviewed by instant replay.
Well, there's no doubt that he caught the ball. But do you think on the run back they're trying to decide if he was down?
The big question is whether or not he was down after he took the couple of steps. Did the wide receiver push him down, or did he turn and fall? Let's see here. This is the perfect angle for it. There's the catch. Now take a look at wide receiver Eddie Brown. Take a look at wide receiver Russell. Russell hits him, but Russell doesn't really knock him down. This is going to be a very difficult decision. I'm glad I don't have to make it. I don't think that Russell knocked him down.
So we wait on the replay as Atwater had a fine run back after the interception. Our replay official today is Dave Kamansky. And there's your referee, Jerry Markbright.
Now, Eddie Brown definitely did not knock him down. Derek Russell put a pretty good shoulder on him. It bounced him back. The question is, was that the force? Here it is right here. There's the shoulder. A pretty good knock. It looks like he just pushes Russell off. As he's turning, he actually falls himself. They've got to let the run go, I think.
Now, it was a 45-yard run after the interception. As Atwater waits to hear the verdict on whether or not the ball will be spotted way back in Denver territory or if the 45-yard return after his catch was good. And there's a guy that wants that ball to be spotted exactly where it is right now at the 20. Sam Weiss doesn't like the decision. The return stands. A 45-yard return after the interception by Steve Atwater. Denver will try and cash in now on the interception by Atwater. 1st and 10. At the Cincinnati 21, they lead on an Elway 52-yard touchdown pass to Michael Young. Gaston Graham down to the 18-yard line. Alfred Williams is in on the tackle for the Bengals. And also getting up off the pack is David Grant. Can Green step in and fill the shoes of a Bobby Humphrey? Yesterday, he wanted to do it yesterday afternoon at about 12 noon, I think, to do it. He was really fired up.
He was so nervous he didn't know what to do. He was squeezing out his hands, a very nervous player.
David Craig has broken his right thumb in that game for Seattle, and the Saints came back and won that game. And there you see our other scores. The Jets win on a Pat Leahy field goal, 16-13. And here in Denver, it's 7-0 Broncos. Elway throws, and Robert Perryman coming out of the backfield catches at the Bengal 15-yard line. Covered on the play by Alex Gordon. Now on third down plays, on third down situations, Elway will give Dan Reeves the chance to call the play.
When it's 3rd and short, sometimes he can't see whether or not it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 1.5, 3rd and 2. So he allows the eyes in the sky to make that determination and make the call.
Mike Shanahan, the eyes in the sky that Beasley's speaking about. And here's Elway on 3rd down and 3. 4 wide receivers in, and Steve Sewell in the backfield with John Elway. And he will not get the first down as he ran out of the tackle of Alex Gordon, but then Tim Crumry, the nose tackle, chased the play, and they're short. And a field goal attempt for Treadwell.
You know, when Sewell comes in the game, you know pretty much that he's going to get the ball. He's an excellent receiver. Elway set that play up well by looking off to the left. Now take a look as he takes the ball. He'll go straight back, look to the left a little bit. He knows right where he's going with the ball, turns back. That supposedly pulls the defense to the other side and to give Sewell a better opportunity to get the first down. That time just couldn't get there.
Ball spotted at the 20, make it a 30-yard field goal attempt for David Treadwell. He hit the upright. Treadwell misses from 30 yards. And the Broncos do not cash in on the interception by Esiason. And once again, their philosophy is, we're getting tired out there. to the defense, you get tired with us. We're just going to keep on playing. 2nd and 1. Eric Caddis in motion. James Brooks. And should have the first down out over the 30-yard line, and he will. The Bengals finally get a first down. Remember, they have been stung so far in a 52-yard touchdown pass from John Elway to Michael Young, and then a Boomer Esiason interception as Steve Atwater picked off one of his passes, and they really haven't been able to get in any kind of flow, Beasley.
No, they really haven't. They're trying to get it, but it's not coming right now. You were looking at James Brooks just a few minutes ago. He's considered by many one of the best all-around football players in the National Football League. You see the standing huddle. Just everybody kind of stands around. It's sort of a huddle. They just don't form the traditional huddle.
6.5 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Broncos. Here's Brooks. And Brooks is brought down by Michael Brooks at the 35-yard line. A fine block by Craig Taylor, leading James Brooks through the hole.
And you know what? He doesn't block some slouch. He puts the helmet on a pretty good player. That's Carl Mecklenburg coming around the corner. Take a look at the bounce-out block that allows the runner, James Brooks, and all his talent to turn upfield.
2nd down and 5 at the 35-yard line. James Brooks is at the bottom of your screen as a wide receiver right now.
Man, run 10 all hook. And he goes right formation.
And that's Craig Taylor in the backfield, the lone back for the Bengals. And it's caught by Taylor, and it got some running room. Up to midfield, Tim Lucas is there, along with Dennis Smith. And another first down for the Bengals up to the 50-yard line as Taylor makes his 2nd catch of the day.
Now, Craig Taylor he looks slight of build here, but believe me, his nickname is Rhino. You're looking at 228 pounds, high-stepping and putting moves in.
On first down, Esiason back to Taylor, and why not? He's the hot hand right now, and he brings it down to the Bronco 43-yard line. And again, Esiason brings him right back up to the line of scrimmage. You know, these big guys got to be huffing and puffing right now.
Oh, they got to be tired, and that's the reason that they don't do a lot of huddling or a lot of substitution. They want to keep the defensive linemen huffing and puffing, just like their offensive linemen are huffing and puffing. By not huddling, by not taking the 25 seconds, it keeps the defense from bringing in fresh players.
That was an 8-yard pass catch by Taylor. It's 2nd and 2. Brooks back to Esiason. And he's got Barber wide open for a touchdown. Mike Barber on a beautiful classic Cincinnati play.
Wow, was that pretty? I tell you, you can't, it's like a run and shoot offense. They misfire, they misfire, they misfire, and then all of a sudden they take advantage of something. James Brooks is going to draw a lot of attention. He flips it back and just a beautiful throw. I tell you, as a quarterback, I would get excited right here. I'd say, oh my God, he's wide open, let me hit him. But the Boomer, with all of his experience and poise and savvy, lays it perfectly on the money, and Barber does not miss.
Jim Breach in to tie it. Good. A 42-yard flea flicker for a touchdown. Esiason to Brooks, to Esiason to Barber. Touchdown pass Miami with all those unsigned players and injuries. They lead in that game up in Buffalo, and Houston scored on an Alan Pinkett touchdown run. Minnesota leads over the Bears. And those are our other games underway. And we're at 7-7 as Lee Johnson kicks one up into the south stands here at Mile High Stadium. He's got a great leg, does Lee Johnson. As a matter of fact, if they really need a super field goal attempt, like 54, 55 yards, Lee Johnson would be the guy they would go to. Now, can John Elway answer back, Beasley, to the 42-yard touchdown pass of Boomer Esiason? Elway already has a 52-yarder.
You know, they try to quietly underplay this thing, but anytime you get two great quarterbacks on the field like that, it ends up being a shootout, a question of who can outdo who. And believe me, he's going to come out gunning.
1st and 10 after the touchback at the 20-yard line. 4:27 to go in the first quarter, and it's 7-7. This is Gaston Green. And a good gain up near the first down marker, up by the 29-yard line. Ricky Dixon brought him down. Now, Alfred Williams, the linebacker out of Colorado, is the top draft choice of the Cincinnati Bengals. Here he is.
There's a super push. 2 people on him. They bury him right now. He's got to learn some respect for this league. You know, he held out for a while, came in late, but in the first game, he came up with 4 solo tackles and a sack. He was telling me he thinks the entire senior team with him at Colorado could play in the National Football League. These bullets are real now. These are real games.
Almost fumbled the exchange, but it's recovered. So the Broncos get it up near a first down. Let's go to New York right now. Marv Albert for an update.
All right, Jim, the big NFL story earlier today on this play. Eagles quarterback Randall Cunningham suffered torn ligaments in his left knee. He will undergo an MRI examination as soon as possible. If surgery is required, it probably means he's out for the season. With Jim McMahon at quarterback, the Eagles beat Green Bay 20-3. Back to Jim and Beasley.
First down, John Elway fires to the 40-yard line as he's going with the short game right now. And the catch made by Michael Young. So the Bengals defense, as Elway will look right now down to his wristband. That's where he has all the plays written down.
The plays are broken down by down and distance and yardage situations where they are on the football field. They are in little squares. Say it's 2nd and 7 or 3rd and 1 or 2nd and 11. There are several plays that he can choose from off of that wristband right there.
Well, I could call this one now. It's 2nd down and 1. I'd give it to Gaston Green.
Good call.
First down. Out to the 43-yard line. David Grant brings him down. So Elway hit him with 2 quick passes and then goes on an easy 2nd and 1 call, and Green makes the play. Now, here's a kid that came out of UCLA with all kinds of real big things planned for him.
That's right.
And he just was miserable with the Rams. He told us he wanted out of there a couple of years ago.
He was so frustrated he never got a chance to play. And then when the prospect of coming here, he said, my goodness, it's the same situation. They've got a great back in Bobby Humphrey. Now he gets his opportunity, and so far, not doing badly. No big plays yet, but not doing a bad job.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line of Denver. Gaston Green again. Short gain, and then a late flag comes in. Thrown in the direction of holding against the line, and it is. And off the reaction of Doug Weidel, it might be against him. So the Broncos will be backed up. Let's check out Jerry Markbright.
Holding, number 67, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Take a look at the right-hand side of your screen. You can see a little hugging match going on there, and that's the reason for the call.
Oh, I can't believe he even argued on the play.
They always argue.
Beasley, I'll tell you what, Elway, how hot is he throwing the football right now? He is 6 for 6. He hasn't missed yet in 91. So it's now 1st and 20 after the penalty on Denver. That's Shannon Sharp in motion. He's 7 for 7 as he picks out Mark Jackson for the first time this year to the 44.
Well, right now he's putting on a clinic. When he has to throw it low, he throws it low so the receiver can scoop it. When he has to put it in a position where the receiver can catch it in his stomach, he turns. Rod Jones completely around him when he turns. Immediately as he turns, the ball is halfway there already. That timing is so critical. Timing so critical. Mark Jackson had his best year as a pro, best year as a Bronco last year, 57 catches, 926 yards.
And that is the definition of perfection, I guess. 7 for 7. They got 13 on that play. Remember, it's still 2nd and 7, though. Shannon Sharp comes back and makes the catch by the Bengal bench, and a first down again.
Shannon Sharp is a big target. Tight end / wide receiver came out. You know, right now, he's Shannon Sharp. He used to be Sterling Sharp's brother.
That's right.
Now he's starting to become Shannon Sharp. Look at the feet, keeping him inside.
Play.
Such balance.
Boy, that is a great play. You know, actually, Beasley, when the play started, he had Sharp wide open long.
Long he did.
Yeah.
And that's why John had to wait, because he knew it was a comeback route.
We're inside 20 seconds left here in the first quarter in a 7-7 tie. And the Broncos in Denver territory. This is Derek Russell. Incomplete. Eric Thomas was there with them as Elway airs it out. And now 11 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Now, again, he's signaling in right now. These are the people he wants to come in.
That's personnel. Now, you know, that was an excellent job of man-for-man coverage. Now, when you're all by yourself, and it's just you in the highway, just perfect position. He looks back at just the right time. And just Eric Thomas is a very, you know, he's an experienced guy, drafted second in '87, been around a while. He knows what he's doing. Got a lot of confidence and excellent man-for-man coverage there.
So it is 2nd and 10 with 11 seconds to go in the quarter. Here's Gaston Green. A good jolt to the outside gets him to the 36-yard line. Driven out by Ricky Dixon. Green took a step to the middle and then bolted outside.
You know, that's what he did so well in college. Step out and bounce. You know, like a Tony Dorsett type of move. This time he doesn't get much on it, but he turns the corner, showing that speed.
And that's the gun, ending the first quarter. Well, let's all catch our breath here at Mile High Stadium, because Elway and Esiason appear to be ready to give us an aerial show. 2 bombs for touchdowns, 1 for each of those number 7s, and we're tied at 7-7. We'll be right back. Denver ahead 7-0. Cincinnati answers on a flea flicker play. Boomer Esiason to Mike Barber, 42 yards. And we're tied at 7. And the difference in the game right now is a missed 30-yard field goal by David Treadwell. He hit the upright.
You know, he tried to draw it in to the right. You know, he sent it out to the right, put a little hook on it, and hit the crossbar. But I tell you, we have not had a moment's break. If you're a fan watching this game or here at the stadium, you are being entertained. That, once again, is the signal from Elway, the personnel that he wants in the game.
I'm Jim Donovan along with Beasley Reese. And Denver coming out now. 3rd down and 3 at the Cincinnati 37-yard line. Reggie Rivers into the game. Here's Sewell. He's going to throw it to Elway. Now, I know he's calling his own plays, but he's calling passes to himself.
Oh, what a show. What a show. This is beautiful. This play could not have been executed better. You see Sewell coming in motion. They respect him as a good runner, a good receiver. He stops and makes what is the perfect throw. I mean, he's got to drop it right over the defender's shoulder. Great throw.
24 yards and a first down for Denver inside the 15 of Cincinnati. This is Green. And he's knocked out by David Fulcher at the 5-yard line. Great block by Doug Weidel to get Green around the corner.
You know, these are, I mean, every year you know that these two teams are among the most exciting in the National Football League, and they are certainly living up to it. Gaston Green living up to what he said he was going to try to do. He wants to have a big game and show everybody that he can contribute, that he can carry a team as their starting runner. So far, no mistakes, doing a steady, solid job.
2nd down and 3 at the 5-yard line. Robert Perriman and Green are in the backfield. This is Perriman up near a first down as he gets down to the 2-yard line. And that's where he needed to get to try and get the 1st and goal. There's Tim Crumry getting up off the pack. Anytime it's run up the middle, Crumry's there. So we'll see if Perriman got the 1st down. As a matter of fact, Jerry Markbright says, bring in the chains. Well, isn't it amazing, Beasley, that the situation between Elway and Dan Reeves, which had so badly deteriorated last year, where Elway said, I really had gone 360 degrees the other way, and really Elway's calling his own plays. All right, Eagle-Eye, did they get it?
I don't know. I was about to say, I can't tell. Looks like it might be an inch or two away from a 1st down. But like you said, Dan Reeves and John Elway getting along so much better now. One way to get along with your quarterback is give him some freedom, some creative involvement in the play calling, and he's certainly done that, and so far in this brand new season, it's working out pretty well and very entertainingly, I might add.
3rd down and inches from the 2. He's going to keep it and score. there's a penalty flag down. They came down way after Elway had gone into the end zone.
For an unsportsmanlike conduct foul, illegal demonstration, number 7, Denver throwing the ball in the stands. 5-yard penalty on the kickoff.
All right, watch him here on the play, Beasley.
You know, I think they take a lot away from the game when you do this. Now, you think about it. You're a fan. You paid $25, $30 to see a game. You love John Elway, and he flips you the ball?
With a penalty for tossing the football to a fan after he scored. I mean, he didn't hurl it into the stands. He just flipped it.
And it was a safe toss. You know, I understand the league's point. You know, some of these stadiums are very high up, and you throw a ball and people start leaning and try to catch it. Maybe somebody can get injured. That time, he just flips it up to somebody, and believe me, penalty or no penalty, that is a souvenir that some National Football League, Denver Broncos, John Elway fans will cherish for a lifetime. I think that's one of the beautiful things about sports.
Now, the big play on the drive was the Elway catch of a pass from Steve Sewell of 24 yards. And Beasley, that's the longest catch in Elway's career.
Okay. That's
in his receiving career. David Treadwell will kick it away after the penalty. He'll kick it from the 30. Mitchell Price. Boy, they are ready to put beside the 5-11 season of last year, aren't they? They are playing fired-up football. Kevin Clark is in on the tackle of Mitchell Price, and it's an offside being called against Denver, so I would imagine the Bengals will force them to kick it over again. Miami, they were not given a prayer, Beasley, in that matchup, and they lead 14-0. Houston up, and so is Minnesota. You see the Patriots and Colts tied at 7-7. And that's a surprise Phoenix over the Rams. So Esiason waits, but I would imagine they're going to kick it over. After the penalty called against Denver for going offside on a kickoff. Boy, I wouldn't want to be in the film meeting tomorrow when they take a look at that.
That's not good. You know, special team coaches consider that one of the dumbest penalties that you can make. I mean, that's one of the dumbest in the world. To be offside on a kickoff, I mean, my goodness, you've got a 60-yard sprint line in front of you. You might as well watch the ball.
All right, Notre Dame football has been an integral part of both college football and American society since the 20s. And now NBC Sports is proud to present all the thrills and excitement of all Notre Dame home games. And it all gets underway next Saturday when the Indiana Hoosiers visit South Bend to take on Lou Holtz and the Fighting Irish. Coverage kickoff at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It starts with Notre Dame Saturday, the Irish and the Hoosiers. And, of course, NFL Live told you about the situation with Rick Maher and Demetrius Dubose and that off-campus party back on Friday night, and Notre Dame officials will be addressing that. They seem to think later on this afternoon after the team holds a practice, so I'm sure the NFL Live group in New York will be covering that for you. All right, another penalty called on the Broncos on the offside, so Mitchell Price starts again. Out to the 32-yard line, and that's where it will be first down for the Bengals. Let's go to New York now, and here's Marv. And firing BBs. Esiason and Elway have been perfect. Harold Green on the carry with a cutback, and a beauty it was out to the 37-yard line, and the play is strung out. Into the lineup for the first time now for the Denver Broncos is Kenny Walker. Kenny Walker, number 96 for the Denver Broncos. And there he is. He is deaf and has been since the age of 2. And we'll tell you an awful lot about Walker as the day goes on. An 8th-round draft choice out of Nebraska, playing the right defensive end. And Green carries up near a first down to the 40-yard line. He'll be short by about 1.5 yards. And this is Greg Cragen on the tackle. Let's watch Walker play here, and they say he's going to be a great one.
You know, one thing about Kenny Walker, he's a super young man, and people just love him. The coaches love him to death.
Well, the Bengals just get right up to the line of scrimmage and plow away and should have a first down out over the 42. So Esiason just taking it and drilling it right down the field. And Greg Cragen is red hot, the nose tackle, number 71 of the Broncos, because I don't think he felt that the defense was given time to get themselves set. Right back to work again. First and 10. 11:48 to go in the half. Denver leads 14-7. Listen to that mile-high wave that has started. Green. And he'll lose yardage on the play. Mike Kroll chases the play down, and that is the top draft choice. Kroll, number 51. There's Walker, number 96. He looks to the sideline to get his signals from Wade Phillips.
Boy, did they string this out well. That's just excellent defense. Mike Kroll, a very fast player. In fact, he's one of the fastest players that was available in the draft last year. And listen to the noise. They used this. The Denver Broncos used this as a weapon.
2nd and 12. Esiason, and it is caught by Eddie Brown. Beautiful spin. And Brown carries out. Tyrone Braxton had him and then couldn't bring him down, and then Atwater had to come up and clean up. But what a beautiful ball fake by Esiason.
I tell you, I thought somebody called the play. I thought it was a whistle or something. He was so cool, so casual about the fake.
And there's the rookie Walker right up in his face.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with that. He's a little excited. You can't touch that face mask at all, especially when you're dealing with the quarterback. He didn't push it, didn't do anything mischievous, so he gets away with it there. 3rd down and inches.
14-7 Denver. Second quarter here at Mile High Stadium. James Brooks. Boy, on 3rd and inches, and Esiason rolls and hits Brooks for a first down to Bronco territory at the 43.
You know, when you're playing against Cincinnati, you learn to expect the unexpected. I mean, 3rd and inches, you'd expect somebody to quarterback sneak or run it, but they use that play like a running play. It's a high percentage pass. It's designed to get 3 or 4 yards. In this case, that's all they needed.
And again, they're right up to the line of scrimmage. They did not huddle. They just gathered as a group right at the line of scrimmage. First down. Jim Riggs in motion. Brooks. Cragen brings him down along with Mecklenburg.
They have done one super job bottling up, so far, one of the best running backs in the National Football League. Mecklenburg had a super preseason, led the team in tackles. And, you know, he said that his role has changed a little bit this year. He is called upon by the coaching staff to be more of a leader. They're going to move him around. He'll play some inside. He will play defensive end on nickel situations, but he's the leader out there now.
2nd down and 11. They say Brooks lost one on that play. Harold Green is in the backfield with James Brooks. Over the head of Eddie Brown. Wyman Henderson was there along with Dennis Smith. The rush came from the outside, and Simon Fletcher was the man number 73 for the Broncos, who was right in on Esiason.
Super pressure. Look at him push the pocket. 2 men on him. And look how cool Boomer is stepping up in the pocket. It didn't make a very good throw. I mean, you're talking about a lot of pressure, but that takes a lot of savvy and a lot of experience and nerve to make that step and still search the field, which he did well. The ball just got away from him a little bit.
Well, here's a bit of trouble now. 3rd down and 11. And a moral victory for the Broncos because they were able to substitute and get new players in against this Bengals no huddle. Oh, Barber dropped it. He hit him right on the numbers. You could hear it. His shoulder pads popped when the ball was delivered. And so Esiason and Barber, which was such a nice connection on that touchdown pass, well, right here.
Oops. This is one you won't see very often. That's a sure-handed receiver, one of the best pair of hands in the league. That time he let it hit the shoulders. That's why coaches say catch the ball with your hands if you can.
And then what? Bring it in.
And then let it softly collapse in. Yes.
Kevin Clark for the Broncos. Lee Johnson punts. And it goes into the right corner of the end zone and out for a touchback, and it will be Denver ball at the 20-yard line. That was a 43-yard punt, but Sam Weiss would have liked to have seen him bang it out inside the 20. And Denver ball at their own 20-yard line. What a fast-paced first half.
Oh, it has been constant movement, and the fans have provided a lot also. Just the sound effects. This is a noisy place.
Gaston Green and Robert Kerman set down behind John Elway. Elway in trouble. And he throws it right into the Bronco bench over the head of Derek Russell. Let's go around the league now on Sunday #1. These are all of those games. David Craig, broken thumb. New Orleans comes back to win. Kansas City won. Bill Belichick lost in Cleveland on his opening day, and the Jets win on a Leahy field goal over Tampa Bay. Now the late games, Buffalo on the board on a 54-yard touchdown pass. Kelly to Andre Reed. Wow, Houston over the Raiders, Beasley, and Minnesota leads over the Bears. And the other games, as you see, on this opening Sunday in the NFL. And here in Denver, it's 14-7 Broncos. A John Elway 2-yard bootleg for a touchdown is the difference. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. This is Green. Eric Thomas will try and get him. Well, that will make you forget Bobby Humphrey a little bit.
He said that that's what he wanted to do. He sat in the seat talking to us, squeezing his hands, wringing his fingers. This is a great opportunity for him. And take a look at the movement. Wham! Right there. That's a special move. And then to be able to, in 2 steps, get back up to full speed. And if it wasn't for a very speedy Eric Thomas, he would have gone all the way. 43 yards, super play.
Great block by Robert Perriman to get him going. 1st and 10. At the Bengal 37. Lewis gets the carry. That's Greg Lewis, their rookie running back out of Washington, and he brings it down to the 35-yard line.
And Greg Lewis had a super preseason also. He's a big, strong runner. Usually they bring him in, well, they can bring him in anywhere, any point in the field, but he's very good at short yardage also. Very powerful, forcing the ball on the inside. Now, I'm sure that the Bronco higher-ups are glad to see that these running backs are holding on, because there's a lot of concern around here about this Bobby Humphrey situation.
2nd down and 8. Lewis and Perriman now make up the backfield. Bengals look like they jump. Flags are down. Incomplete to Derek Russell, and then add another flag as they hit Russell. That's Fulcher. So you got a lot to choose from here, John Elway. You can either take the offside, or it looks like the pass interference.
Boy, I tell you, Rod Jones is having a rough day. First time he relaxes when there's a penalty and it's a touchdown. The next time he doesn't relax, he's a little overzealous and gets a penalty.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Offside, number 98 defense. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, number 25 defense. That penalty is accepted. Automatic first down.
Automatic first down. Rod Jones having a tough day.
Now let's take a look at the first penalty. That's a John Elway penalty. He's going hut, hut, hut. You know,
how did he go?
Oh, that wasn't very good.
No, that was pretty good. Here's the second
and then
one.
the second penalty, a little overzealous. I tell you, that's a close one right there. I don't know about that.
Beasley with the cadence call up here.
This is not a defensive back thing. That was pretty close.
Now they're at the 20-yard line, first down after the penalty on Jones. Robert Perriman, and he is submarined by Alfred Williams. And Alfred Williams, the Colorado Buffalo that a lot of Denver people wanted to be playing here in his professional days. I mean, on draft day, everybody, when the Broncos could have chosen him, wanted them to take him.
It seemed like such a natural selection, but they decided not to go that direction. Williams is a big man, but not very muscular. Look at those little bitty arms. He's like he looks more like an NBA power forward than he does an NFL linebacker, but a very talented player.
2nd down 9. Elway to his tight end. At the 10-yard line, Clarence Kay makes his first catch of the season. And John was looking at him all the way. Let's take a closer shot now of 6'6" Alfred Williams.
You know, I better stop talking about his arms. I might have to do another Cincinnati game somewhere, but he's learning a little respect. In the first game, he just ran amok after holding out. But I'm telling you, when it's opening day and when it's a regular season game, the bullets fly a little bit more lively.
3rd down for Denver, and they keep it and get the first down inside the 10. So it'll be 1st and goal Broncos as Elway comes off the pile, and John is simply having a fine opening
really
first
is.
half of this season.
You know, he's done it all. What hasn't he done so far? I mean,
Well, he hasn't. Yesterday, he didn't try and sell you and I a car.
That's it.
John
That's the only
owned,
thing he hasn't done.
He owned 4 car dealerships, and I guess now he's down to 3.
They sold one.
And so we said, can you tell us the first couple of plays? And he said, no, but I'll tell you what, I could put you behind the wheel of a beautiful front-wheel drive automobile. 1st and goal at the 9. Gaston Green back in there. He did not get in, but boy, it was just the effort of David Fulcher that kept him from going the distance.
Now, that's the form of the counter tray. 2 offensive linemen from one side of the field pulling a little cross-blocking. It confuses the defense. Now, look at the effort at the end of this run. That stretching, that is going for every ounce that is smelling the end zone. See the confusion. Lineman going one way, moving the other. The running back cuts on the inside, and that's effort. That's personal. That's personal right there, that last 2 steps.
2nd and goal. Lewis. 2nd attempt, touchdown. Sam Weiss looks like he's getting a bad headache right now as his team is ready to fall behind by a couple of touchdowns.
Well, you can watch the push by the offensive line. We already talked about the selection of Greg Lewis in short yardage situation. Why? 2nd effort right there, touchdown.
Yeah, because Beasley, he did not have it on the first one. Right here, he doesn't have it.
See, they stopped him there. It's that second little drive, a little kind of a squirm in there that pulls him across.
And we're going to go to replay I think, on this one to see if maybe on that first drive he was down. Here's Treadwell for the extra point. From the 1-yard line, his first NFL touchdown for Denver, and they now have a 2-touchdown advantage over the Cincinnati Bengals, 21-7 as David Treadwell moves in to kick. Eric Ball takes it 2 yards deep. And will not get to the 20. Reggie Rivers is in on the tackle. There's a flag down on the return. Charlie Dimry was there too. So as we wait to see what Jerry Markbright is going to give us the call, Cincinnati's got themselves in a little bit of trouble here, Beasley.
Well, there's the man charged with coming up with something. You know, he's got a bag full of tricks.
Face mask penalty against the kicking team on the return. 5 yards. Timeout.
All right. Jerry told you, timeout. And we'll spend a break right now. The Bengals have not been able to run the ball. They trail 21-7. They might not be able to have a chance to run it if they keep falling way far behind. Here's Brooks. Nowhere. Tyrone Braxton off the corner to make the tackle, and someone really missed the block coming out of there.
You know, this defense has done a super job against one of the most complicated teams to defend. The no huddle has been no problem. The quick counts have been no problem. They're doing a super job remaining very poised.
Brooks lost a yard, and it is 2nd down and 11. Esiason to his tight end Rodney Holman for the first time today, but he's wrapped up quickly. Tyrone Braxton's in there along with Carl Mecklenburg. Boy, I'll tell you what, since he's moved back inside, he's a happy camper, isn't he?
He really is. I mean, he is so happy. Like I said earlier, he has a new... he's always been a leader, but he's expected now to be more vocal, to kind of coordinate the younger guys that they have on this team.
3rd and 5. A lot of time, and it's picked off by Dennis Smith. Well, now you have two safeties, two all-pro safeties for the Broncos, and each has an interception. Atwater and now Smith.
They've got to be very happy. I mean, both of the guys talked about making more interceptions this year. And, man, are they fulfilling the dream. They start out perfectly in the first game. Now, Esiason is in trouble here. The pocket is collapsing, and just a perfect read off the double zone by Smith. Stepping up, makes a nice run. When he sees himself in trouble, he covers the ball up.
First and 10 inside the 35 of Cincinnati. This is Green. And Gaston Green is having a wonderful start. Alex Gordon dragged him down from behind, but Green, who is in here in a tough situation, filling in for the holdout Bobby Humphrey, and he is having a great first game.
And he's the kind of kid that you're happy for, too. I mean, you know, when we talked to him, didn't you feel good about him? Like a nice young man. You kind of pull for a guy like that.
He already has 82 yards rushing here in the first half. Second down and 5. This is Perryman. And he is at the 24-yard line and up near a first down. Tim Crumry brings him down, and Skip McClendon was there too. Robert Perryman got out of New England. High Stadium, Denver leading 21-7, and now an interception of Boomer Esiason by Dennis Smith, and the Broncos are knocking right on the Bengals' door again at the 24-yard line. Third down and inches. They have 3 timeouts left. All of their timeouts remaining. That's a first down for Perryman. Let's go back to Dennis Smith's pickoff of Boomer Esiason.
You know, it comes on a double zone. The two safeties are responsible for half the field. They are sitting back like two center fielders, and Dennis Smith just perfectly reads the throw, steps up, and makes the catch. Boomer had a lot of trouble with interceptions last year. He threw 22 of them. He's off to a bad start right now. I mean, if you keep this up, we're looking at 32.
Already with 2 today. First and 10, Denver, near the 20 of Cincinnati. He's got Michael Young. He had him behind Rod Jones, and John just threw it a little too far.
That could have started to slam the door. He's upset with himself there because that could have been a nice little touchdown and a nice little space, a nice little cushion for his team. Excellent pass route. You know, when they line up close like that as a defender, you got to figure they're going to try to work something to the outside. He ran away from the defender, and John's still upset about the last play.
1:17 to go in the first half. Second and 10 at the Bengal 20-yard line. Gaston Green. Nice tackle by Ricky Dixon. A 1-yard gain to the 19-yard line, and more importantly, the clock is rolling right now as we come up to a minute remaining here in the first half. You know, Denver not using a timeout. Excuse me, Visa.
I talked about John Elway being upset with that last play. You know, when you have to call the plays, it helps. John feels like it helps him to concentrate more on the next play because he can't dwell on it. He's got to think about the next play.
As you see, we'll be going to NFL Live at halftime. And a big welcome from here in Denver to Bill Parcells, joining the NFL Live team here at NBC Sports. Third down and 9. Elway right on the money to Michael Young at the 10. David Fulcher makes the tackle. Young makes the catch. They're near a first down and a timeout. We'll be right back to Denver.
Pattern, and John Elway puts it in the perfect position. Pushes. Now look at him throw it away from 33. John Elway throws it to the right side of his body. I tell you, when you get where you can throw them low when it needs to be low, to the right side, to the inside, outside, man, that's when you're good, and John Elway has got the hot hand now.
So only Young could have made that catch, right?
Only Young could have touched the ball.
Right. And incidentally, Michael's done a pretty good job of catching the ball. He already has 3 catches in the game for 71 yards and a touchdown. The touchdown was a 52-yard bomb. He only made 28 catches all of last season.
And you know, it's nice when you get off to an excellent start like that. It's nice when you start off excellent.
First down and goal inside the 10. As they got the first down on that catch by Young. Here's Elway. Perryman. Right down on the goal line. They say that he is not in. So Robert Perryman makes the catch on the play, and Kevin Walker tackles for the Bengals, but they are inches away from scoring again.
Elway with the super play here. I mean, when you talk about his play calling, you know, the media everywhere is ready to question or see how he does. Everybody's interested in a quarterback that calls his own play. There's nothing that you can say about what he's done here so far in the first half. Everything has been working.
All right, these games are going on right now. Miami leading by 7. The Raiders get on the board. Jay Schrader threw a big bomb to Willie Gault in that game of 59 yards. And the Bears are on the board. They lead 7-3. The other games that are going on right now, Pittsburgh holding on to a lead, the Cardinals, and the New England Patriots with new head coach Dick McPherson. And Beasley, you and I will be in New England next week for Cleveland and the Patriots at Sullivan Stadium. So it's 10-7, or rather Foxborough Stadium now it's called, not Sullivan Stadium anymore. And we'll see the Patriots take on the Browns. And there is the separation of ball to end zone.
Oh, man.
And it's second down and goal. Denver leads 21-7 with 20 seconds to go. Out of Florida State.
You know, the Broncos will use all of their receivers. The scouting report on Reggie Johnson is big blocker. When he comes out for a pass, nobody's paying any attention to him whatsoever, and he's wide open.
Treadwell's kick is good, and it is 28-7, and the Esiason interception comes back and burns the Bengals as the Broncos march it right back in. And with 15 seconds left, Denver leads 28-7. And I'll tell you what, there's a happy rookie, Reggie Johnson. But, you know, now you have 2 happy rookies. Remember, Greg Lewis got his first NFL touchdown earlier in the game.
That's right.
And now John Elway throws it to 89, Reggie Johnson. So I'll tell you, this new play caller for the Broncos is really charitable, isn't he? He spreads it around.
He is so hot right now. It's unbelievable. Take a look at him. He's pumped up. The team is pumped up. He's making everybody happy. If you notice, he's spreading the ball around. One of the concerns about a quarterback calling his own plays is people lobbying for the ball in the, in the huddle. That hasn't been the case.
But more importantly, Beasley, those 70-odd thousand are happy right now.
That's
and I know for Bronco players, they love the Bronco mania when it's in a positive area, but sometimes being the only show in town can make it very tough. He caught a deflected ball there.
Yeah, he sure did, and it made him stumble just a little bit because the ball suddenly changed speed and changed direction.
Now, can the Bengals get back in this thing?
You know what? There's a man scratching his head right now, and he's got a lot to think about. In fairness to the Bengals, we must, reiterate that the offensive line is decimated.
Only 15 seconds to go in the half, and it will be a touchback. Eric Ball is advised by Lynn James to stay in there.
Coach, we've got a great game going on here. I hope you're enjoying watching all of this great stuff.
And we'll see you at halftime. James Brooks to the 22. And that should do it. I don't think the Bengals will stop the clock. As a matter of fact, I think that they'll get in that locker room and try and piece this whole thing together. And listen to the Bronco crowd. Well, Sam's got a lot of work to do, and Dan Reeves must feel like if he could just bottle what happened here in the first half, they'll be untouchable.
That's right.
Yes, the flag is flying. As we start the second half, 28-7. Can the Bengals come back here? And can Denver hang on? Out of the end zone, the catch is made by Kevin Clark, and it's 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Can Elway keep his team on a roll? No doubt Dan Reeves pounded that into them into the locker room at halftime. Remember now, last year, one of the big reasons we were 5-11 is because we couldn't hold on to leads in the second half.
And you got to think that as players, they went around there. Come on, we cannot have a letdown. Everybody concentrate. Let's play like it's 0-0 is what everybody normally says.
Gaston Green and Robert Perriman, a good backfield here in the first half for the Broncos, and they start the second half. And from the 20. Here comes Green. And Ricky Dixon comes up and sticks his helmet right in there along with Tim Crumry. All right, Beasley, let's go into the other locker room right now. Cincinnati really embarrassed in the first half, down 28-7 on your opening day. Yes, their offensive line has a lot of injuries, but interceptions are interceptions, and bad tackling is bad tackling.
Well, they had to get a little motivation speech. The leaders on the team had to stand up and say a few things, but in their defense, it is very difficult to run their style of offensive attack when half of your offensive line is down. There are not a lot of adjustments that they can make.
Second down at 6. Green. And again, it's Ricky Dixon out over the 25-yard line to the 26, which will set up third down and short for Denver. So when we were discussing about Gaston Green in the first half, and he's over 82 yards at halftime, and now he's even got a little bit more than that. Now on the game, he's got 90 yards. Imagine Bobby Humphrey sitting back in Birmingham, Alabama. Gaston Green getting all the playing time here today. Plus, it's costing Humphrey $38,000, Dan Reeves speculated, to sit out today's game.
Dan Reeves said that was more than any single year that he made as a player, and until recently as a coach. That's a lot of money to lose on one day.
Third down and 3. Here's Sewell, and he will not get the first down, or will he? He spun out of a James Francis tackle, but then the Bengals got in there, and David Fulcher cleaned the play up. So they actually lose a yard on the play, and exactly what the Bengals had to do, they accomplished that. They held Denver on that first series.
Well, I'm sure that was much of the talk in the locker room. We've got to come out and do a great job on this first possession. We have to establish that we plan to get back in this thing, and they've gotten off to a good start.
Mike Curran led the NFL in punting average and net last year and didn't go to the Pro Bowl. This is his first punt of the season. Mitchell Price. Fine run back by Price to the 36-yard line. Keith Traylor comes up and makes the tackle. Actually, Warren Powers had a chance of getting him down deep.
You know, that was a big punt, and so far it is a prescription return to the second half when you've done a poor job in the first half. They held on defense, and a nice punt return by the special teams.
Let me correct myself. That was Shannon Sharp that had a chance to get him on the first carry. Here's Harold Green. And Green carries out to the 42-yard line. Tackled by Michael Brooks. Rodney Holman was the blocker, and Tim Lucas is also there for the Bronco defense.
So psychologically, there are several things that have to happen for you to get back in a game when you're down 28-7. So far, everything's working perfectly. Nice little run on first down, 2nd and 4 or 5. That's a manageable situation. A lot of plays you can call 2nd and 4 or 5.
James Brooks. Brooks is trying to get into the game. I think really get into the game, get into some kind of flow, and he just can't seem to get it accomplished as Brooks is tackled by Mecklenburg, and it will be 3rd and short. But to keep him silenced, I mean, this is a guy that is so important to Cincinnati. The Bronco defense has done a marvelous job so far. It is 3rd down and 3. And across the line of scrimmage they come. Ron Holmes was in there first.
Encroachment, number 90, defense, 5-yard penalty. 3rd down prior to the snap. Foul prior to the snap.
Well, actually, that will give him a first down.
Let's take a look at the jump. A little hesitation, then a jump. Ron Holmes trying to move too quickly. You know, sometimes when you're playing against a great player, you have a tendency to try to get a jump. And I guess if I was lined up against Munoz, I'd be trying to get every advantage I could. Ron Holmes said that Munoz probably made the Pro Bowl when he was in high school.
It's a first down for the Bengals. And Esiason throws it long for Tim McGee. He's got it for a touchdown.
You know what? That was gorgeous. I never knew where the ball was. That was a beautiful play fake. I never knew the quarterback had the ball.
11 Broncos are saying the same thing.
Oh, man, take a look at the coverage. The only person that knew, look, the safety's beaten, Braxton is beaten, and a perfect throw, perfect catch, beautiful touchdown, 52-yard play. And if you notice, Cincinnati has had to make their bread and butter on trickery.
Jerry Markbright slows it down right now to maybe this one. All right, they are reviewing the play. And again, I would have to think that they're reviewing whether or not he comes down and goes into the end zone.
Ah, that's not a bad review. Looks like the knee is down. The knee did touch before it went in. After this further review, we could have a little change here. McGee, a little banged up. I tell you, when 3 or 4 people fall on you, it hurts. Let's take a look at it again.
Denver in the lead. They led 28-7 at the half. Gaston Green is the lone back, and that's Shannon Sharp in motion. And that's incomplete. Someone might have got a hand on that on the way out. That ball died in front of Michael Young. Let's check in the scoreboard right now on our 10-minute ticker on the games that are going on right now. Miami, that is amazing, in Buffalo. Houston leading.
Tough place to win in
yes.
Buffalo.
Chicago over Minnesota. Other games now. Everybody in the second half along with us. Phoenix. Tom Tupa has thrown for a touchdown and run one in. 21-7. Phoenix leads, and New England leading in Indianapolis 10-7. And it's 28-14 here in Denver. The Broncos lead. And they need a timeout. I think the Broncos are, no, they were signaling a play-in rather than a timeout. Elway, 2nd and 10. David Grant chasing him. Elway puts one up and incomplete. Clarence Kay was down there. The tight end ran a long, long way, and the linebacker out there with him was Alex Gordon chasing on the play along with Leon White. But Elway, for the first time, was flushed out of the pocket today.
He had to make a hard fake with the football just to survive to get the run outside that time. And a pretty good example of flexibility when he laid the ball up from a difficult body position.
Do you notice this place has gotten a little quieter, Beasley?
Yes, it has. Take a look at that. It's hard to throw like that when you run it to your left and you're right-handed.
3rd down, 10. 4 wide receivers into the game. Steve Sewell's in there, too, in the backfield. Elway connects. And that's a 1st down. Michael Young again. 4 catches on the day for Young.
You know, Michael Young runs a perfect pattern. John sets it up by looking to the right again. He always looks off the defenders. That helps the receiver. Throws it low and outside where nobody can touch it but Michael Young.
So the Bengals were building up a little defensive momentum, but it is faulted right there as Elway was on the money to Young. And now it appears that this play might be going to review. And that is what must be going on.
The play stands. Continue play. 1st down.
So it did go to review, and it stands. On the catch by Michael Young. 1st and 10 Denver. 10:21 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Elway has thrown 2 touchdown passes and run for 1. On 1st down. Gaston Green to the 35-yard line. And Alfred Williams is in on the tackle.
Alfred Williams with all his range and length of body. See him, number 94, taking on the blocker very well, squeezing everything down and then reaching in to be a part of the play. Young star of the future, hoping to start Buddy today.
He actually lived with linebacker coach Dick Seltzer to get ready for the season because he knew he was going to be a holdout. And he actually went to a family reunion of Seltzer's because he was spending so much time with him. 2nd down. Wide open. Mark Jackson to the 26.
Well, the nightmare continues for Rod Jones. A couple of bad mistakes early. This time in a foot race, somehow Jackson just gets away from him and is running toward the sideline. Elway with just, it's like taking candy from a baby that time, lifting it over his shoulder with a perfect play. Now, you see that signal right there? The wide receiver tells what Elway has called to the coaching staff. That was a great camera shot.
38-yard pass play and a first down. And Gaston Green runs into a mess right there. Kevin Walker tackles him at the 26-yard line, and they'll lose about a yard on the play.
You know, I got so excited when we got that camera shot of him signaling what play was called to the coaches. They need to know so they can chart it and chart tendencies, what the defense is doing when they run that particular play. So when the wide receiver comes out, he signals to the coaches, okay, guys, this is what we have called.
Second down and a no-gainer on first down for the Broncos. A blitz by Alfred Williams, and Gaston Green got away from the tackle of Williams, but only picks up a yard to the 25-yard line. So the rookie Alfred Williams was coming big time.
You know what? He's starting to really wake up, and he's starting to realize what this league is all about. Take a look at the jump that he gets on the ball. Man, it's like he knew the snap count. That messes up the entire play. Doesn't matter that he didn't make the tackle. It threw the timing off to the point where it was practically a no-gainer.
He said he had a lot of friends and family coming to the game today. And his big concern was that it was going to cost them so much money to buy all of their tickets. Third down and 9. It's batted down by James Francis. Got his right arm up in the air. Francis led the Bengals in sacks last year, and a knockdown there of the Elway pass.
You know, Francis was there, and Alfred Williams slapped at the ball. He got there so quickly, he almost knocked it out of Elway's hand. We can take a look and see if we can find it here from the top of your screen. There he is. He swats and just barely misses it, and then you see the bat down.
Nice play by Francis, who was moved to an inside linebacker after being outside last year.
Super play.
So David Treadwell, who missed from 30 yards, he hit the upright in its first attempt. Spot at the 32, making a 42-yard field goal attempt for Treadwell. And blocked. Oh! And Mitchell Price has it. Mitchell Price ends up with the football on the blocked field goal of David Treadwell. And the Bengals have it at the 40.
I'm not sure, but I think it was Eric Thomas with the block. That was perfect timing and just the break that Cincinnati needed to kind of wake them up, to let them know they can get back in this thing.
So the Bengals are indeed awake here in the second half, and maybe the Broncos are going into a bit of a snooze. So the last time the Bengal offense was on the field, Esiason hit on a 52-yard touchdown pass to Tim McGee. It's 28-14. Cincinnati still down by 14 points. But they have the ball at their own 40. And that's McGee again. And he'll have a Bengal first down inside Bronco territory at the 49-yard line. Wyman Henderson tore him down by his jersey. Boy, that's a scary play. When that quarterback rolls out like that and he's got nobody blocking for him.
Oh, yes. You know, it's a question of calling the right play against the right defense or the wrong defense if you're thinking defensively. Had they have had someone blitzing from the backside, that could have been trouble.
Again, right up to the line of scrimmage. First down inside Denver territory. Rodney Holman. And the tight end carries for a probably close to another Bengal first down into the 39 of Denver. And Lucas and Mecklenburg had to chase Holman down.
Now take a look at the blocking this time. I tell you, this time Boomer has time. Everybody's picked up. He's allowed to pick and choose his receivers, and the perennial Pro Bowler Holman makes the catch and drags people.
Well, it's close enough right now to measure on this play on the Holman catch. You know what, Beasley? They're short, but you can feel the momentum has shifted in this game.
You really can. You really can. And, you know, when you get big plays like that, and they did a super job coming out of the locker room of establishing something, getting their confidence back a little bit, and now they're starting to attempt to move toward taking a shot at it. Take a look at the total yards, 306 for Denver. Now, the last time these two teams met, back in 1986, both offenses put up over 400 yards.
Second down and inches. Esiason's got Holman wide open. And the Broncos are burned again on that ball faking by Esiason. And Holman takes it down to the 2-yard line. And the Broncos are running up right now to get right up to the line of scrimmage and go again.
They try to catch a defense when it's a little bit, confused, a little bit trying to figure out who was wrong, how did it go wrong, and they move right up to the line of scrimmage.
All right, now, Anthony Munoz checks in as eligible right now. Watch the left side of your screen. That's where the Bengals might go. And they didn't go very well.
Well, that's good defense. That is just superb. I tell you, they call that the Weeby formation in Cincinnati, and the term means Weeby scoring. Now, this time, it didn't quite work out that way, but what they do is they bring in all their big linemen, and Sam Weiss said that, one of the kids gave it to him, Weeby going to score here, and they call it the Weeby. They're in the Weeby again. There's Munoz playing tight end. Now, believe me, he's not going to go out and break out to the left and run a pass pattern.
Craig Taylor again, and he can't get in.
This is critical.
And it is 3rd and goal.
This is critical. If they don't get in here, Denver's confidence will be so high that it'll be very difficult to climb back.
And what they are going to have to battle right now, and you'll hear it, is a mile-high roar.
It's like that 12th and 13th guys, more than the 12th guy. When you start making this kind of noise, it's like 14 or 15 people on the field.
That's a loose ball. They lead 28-14 with 4:07 to go here in the 3rd quarter on a huge swing in this game. Elway and Robert Perriman. The ball was thrown low as Elway had Lamar Rogers right in his face. Now let's go back as the Bengals look like they're going to get right back into the football game and turn this whole game around.
There are several critical moments during the course of a game. An excellent pass pattern, excellent feint by Boomer, perfect pass, puts them in position in what would seemingly be a really closing deal. Then Carl Mecklenburg. Certain people have to bring it to the table, and Carl has done it today for Denver.
So instead of being just 7 behind, they're still down 14, and they don't have the ball. And this is for Jackson. And they say he was out of bounds, juggling the ball.
Well, the fans don't like it, but that was a super call. A beautiful throw by Elway.
And a pretty good catch by Mark Jackson, too, when he eventually got control of it.
Take a look at the man-for-man coverage. Ball over the right-hand shoulder away from the defender. He did not have control while he was inbound.
You're sure?
I'm positive.
So there he comes, Mark Jackson.
The key thing on that play, further review.
12 for 15 as we watch the play again.
See, that second touch, when he finally had it, he had 1 foot in.
In the second half, he's only 2 for 8. And he has another pass batted down. And it might have been the same guy, James Francis. Alfred Williams was in there too, but James Francis, number 50 for the Bengals, appears to have batted down his second Elway ball of the afternoon, and Denver has not moved a yard here in the second half.
And that was an example of pretty good coverage by the Cincinnati secondary that time. John had plenty of time. That was what you call a coverage problem.
Mitchell Price waiting for the Haran punt. Called for a fair catch and actually misjudged the ball. He ran in, then had to run back and get it. And it will be Bengal ball at their own 29-yard line. Well, we'll see if the Bengals can regroup after that last disaster and get back into the game today. About an hour and a half. Kenny knew nothing about it.
Nothing.
And Mimi Man is in the seats here today. But
and
more importantly,
the Broncos did that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nice gesture by the team.
Now he has a new interpreter with him here in Denver. a man by the name of Guy Smith from Greeley, Colorado,
Right.
who is actually now almost like a Denver assistant coach because he
Really?
translates for Kenny Walker.
You know, that's a super job. I mean, the guy he's on the sideline. He's with a great young man with Kenny Walker all the time at practice. Very much involved with the Denver Broncos.
All right, back to business. First and 10 Bengals, down by 14. There's the James Brooks you have come to love and appreciate back in Cincinnati.
That's classic James Brooks right there, and that's a man that you're not going to be able to hold down all day long. I promise you that. All-time leading rusher for this team, just a super player.
Second down and 3. 7 yards for Brooks on first down. Oh, what a great run to midfield by James Brooks, and he is in the game now. We said that he's been a little bit invisible. He's right in the middle of the game.
Well, you know, when you look at him, you say this man is in his 11th year. At some point, he's got to slow down. Well, the coach told us this year in training camp, he ran a 4.540. You see every bit of it right there. He trains constantly like a madman.
4 wide receivers in for the Bengals. Esiason is intercepted. This is Braxton, and he's gone. In the right spot at a very good time for Denver, who seemed to be wilting again in the second half.
Now, guess what? 2 years ago against Kansas City in the opening game of the season, he did this very same thing. Intercepted a pass and took it back 34 yards for a touchdown.
David Treadwell's kick is good. And the Denver Broncos have restored their 21-point lead thanks to Tyrone Braxton. 35-14 Denver. Let's go to New York right now and check in with Esiason, get his pocket picked again for the 3rd time today, Beasley.
You know, you might as well call this Braxton kid Mr. Opening Day. Can you imagine the odds against this? Twice on opening day in his career, really blowing the door open for the Denver Broncos. What a great play. I tell you, you got to watch Esiason here. How does he feel when he lets this thing go? I mean, he's got to be in shock. Right there, he just says, oh, man. 3 interceptions, this one for a touchdown.
Well, Boomer will get a chance to come back out and rally the troops again as Sam Weiss tries to cool him off on the sideline. Mitchell Price right at the goal line. Flags all over the place. Kevin Clark is the tackler. But, I mean, flags came in from every which way on the run back by Mitchell Price. 35-14 Denver. Jerry McBride.
Legal block. Number 88 on the return. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
All right, there they are, the scores from around the games going on right now this afternoon. New England leading over Indianapolis 13-7. And the other games, Pittsburgh in charge. Phoenix is leading 21-14. And here in Denver, it's 35-14. The Broncos in the lead over the Cincinnati Bengals. Boomer Esiason has thrown 3 interceptions, and the worst one just happened moments ago. As Tyrone Braxton picked it off and went 52 yards with it down the sideline for a touchdown.
And now to add insult to injury, the crowd, the very vocal crowd here at Mile High, is chanting, Boomer, Boomer.
He's going long for Eddie Brown. And Wyman Henderson was right with him at the 45-yard line. I thought Brown might have the advantage there because he was taller than Henderson, but not so.
You know, Henderson had shouldered in, This is perfect defense. Keep that shoulder. Fight that shoulder to keep it in there. That's great defensive play.
Looked like there was a little contact down the sideline.
Incidental contact. That's the defensive back's favorite phrase.
That's their license to kill. Second down at 10 with 2:19 to go here in the third quarter. Oh, he got hit as he threw. Tim Lucas hit him just as Esiason was trying to unload it to Rodney Holman.
Boy, is it getting tough for Boomer now. People everywhere scrambling around, hitting him from the back. They've got to get something going.
Now, is this an offensive line problem because of all the injuries?
This is clearly an offensive line problem. I mean, this is not a true representation of the Cincinnati Bengals. Anytime you have to jockey around players, Moyers move from one side to the other, Reimers is out, Walter's out.
Runs for his life out of bounds.
You know, when you're in that situation, that's exactly what you're doing. You're not setting up to make plays. You're setting up to survive. You don't know where the breakdown is coming. Is it behind me? Is it in front? It's a very difficult situation for the Boomers.
Warren Powers with pressure there in the chase of Esiason. And remember, Powers already has that big fumble recovery when Mecklenburg hit Esiason down inside the Denver 5. So Lee Johnson is 4 or 5 yards in his own end zone. Kevin Clark is back for the Broncos. Good punt by Johnson.
Hey, Randy, watch it.
Boy, I thought the third quarter was going to run out. I didn't think he was ever going to go down.
What an effort. That's a super effort.
It's a 2-yard return, but he probably went about 20 yards back and forth. A 55-yard punt by Lee Johnson. Clark gets up a little gimpy on that left ankle, and Denver gets the ball back. 1:33 remaining here in the third quarter, and it's 35-14. Denver in the lead over Cincinnati. Next Sunday, NBC brings you all the action with a doubleheader beginning at 12:30 Eastern with NFL Live. And then those are the games that you'll be seeing coming up at 1 and 4 around the country. So check in on Sunday number 2. Here's Gaston Green. And Green takes it over the 40 out to the 43-yard line. Brought down by David Fulcher.
You know, while certain dreams are falling, certain dreams are coming true. Boomer Esiason came in this game obviously not expecting what has happened to him today. Gaston Green came in telling us that he needs to have a big game. He needs to show some NFL team that he can carry the load. His dream is coming true while Boomer's, so far, is a struggle.
Now Green just hit 100 yards rushing on the day. It's second down and 3. Robert Perryman, and he gets up near a first down, close to the 46-yard line.
On the left side.
So on opening day, Gaston Green replacing Bobby Humphrey in that Denver backfield acquired on a draft day trade from the LA Rams. And look at what he does on Sunday number 1. He throws up a 100-yard rushing game for you. And we still have most of the fourth quarter, all of the fourth quarter, and a little bit of the third to go.
And don't think this won't provoke a call to Bobby Humphrey's agent. I mean, you know, look, we got a guy that's carrying the load. If you want to talk again, let's talk. So this is an excellent thing for the Denver team and not too good for Bobby Humphrey.
This is Perryman. And he brings it for a Denver first down. As the third quarter runs out, John Elway has his Broncos down deep in Bengal territory with a first down at the 39. And another big quarter here as this game swung back and forth. But right now, Denver is in the lead 35-14, and we'll be
waiting $5 or $6 grand for that. But they're really excited about their baseball team.
And their football team's not doing badly as Elway unloads to Perryman. And he gets a first down at the 25 of Cincinnati.
Now, everything is working. I mean, we're talking about, remember the old in the grass rule? Now, Elway's hurt. His finger is hurt. He's pulling on a finger. Now, you see the fake. Let's see if we can find the injury here. Now, that's in the grass a year ago, but because of his strength, he's able to hang on and throw it. I think he gets his foot caught just a little bit. Look at him pulling back on it. Well, we'll see.
Incidentally, that was Alfred Williams that had him wrapped up. It's a first down for the Broncos as Gaston Green is sliced down right away. Tim Crumrye brings him down. So we'll check on Elway's finger, and he is still having problems with it, but he just waved off attention from the sideline.
Now take a look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's the new logo on the baseball. They are so excited about their team. These hats and these baseballs are everywhere. Every store you walk into, you can get it, and you can get it now.
And you can get it for a pretty good price.
That's right.
Second down and 10 as Green didn't get anything on first down. Shannon Sharp down the line in motion. Elway got pressure. And the catch is good by Sharp. I don't think Elway ever saw it because he just went lights out.
This is a great throw and a great catch. That's just knowing the football field and weaving your craft to perfection. Take a look at Shannon. Tippy toes. It doesn't get any prettier than that for a wide receiver. That's a highlight film. Wow.
And it's first and goal now at the Cincinnati 6-yard line.
Now remember, that's a big man Sharp. That's a 235-pound man.
Here's Green. And he is met head-on at the 5-yard line. Kevin Walker among the tacklers, along with Lamar Rogers and Crumrye. So it will be second and goal now from the 5-yard line. This will be, incidentally, the Colorado Rockies' home until their new stadium is built. They hope to be in that by '94, but at least definitely for their opening season, Mile High Stadium will be their home. This is the home right now of a AAA team, the Denver Zephyrs. That's why you see the baseball field being set down and still out invisible. Second and goal from the 5. Elway throws it out of the end zone. Ricky Nattiel was over there in the corner, and John's upset, I think, with Nattiel.
Apparently he ran the wrong route that time, expecting him to come inside, and he did not do so. You know, talking to some of the players, we were asking them, is there any lobbying going on in the huddle? Are players saying, hey, John, you know, you're calling the plays. You know, get it to me. I think I can beat my guy. They say that John takes control and that he will yell at a guy if he does something wrong. He'll pat a guy on the back. He's in control.
Third down and goal at the 5. Well, there's a little celebration. Remember, he got hit for 5 yards already for throwing a ball into the seats.
Now, take a look at this. That's just being a great athlete. Now, look at that little fake. That makes all the defenders slow down. He knew that he was across the line of scrimmage already. But when he raises that arm, all the defenders, all of a sudden, they say, uh-oh, where's my guy? Where's my man?
John Elway's second rushing touchdown of the day has given the Broncos a 42-14 lead over the Bengals with 12 and a half left here in the ballgame. This is Lynn James. And he's to the 25-yard line where Randy Robbins brings him down. And Eric Wilhelm will come into the game right now for the Cincinnati Bengals, relieving Boomer Esiason on opening day. Now remember, Elway came up with a finger or an arm injury.
You know what it was? It was a cramp. You can tell by where he's rubbing, and he's putting cold water or some type of ointment treatment. That shows it must have been a cramp. That's why he was bending back the fingers to relax that muscle.
James Brooks is cut down by Jeff Mills. So Esiason is gone for the day, and Eric Wilhelm comes in. And Boomer had a rough opening day here in Denver. 3 interceptions. One of them went all the way back for a touchdown. And Gary Kubiak, we could be seeing him pretty soon, Beasley, as he's getting ready to warm up. Wilhelm's first pass. Boy, almost intercepted by Dennis Smith. And in fact, the ball was caught but out of bounds by Reggie Rembert.
Now, Eric Wilhelm had a heck of a week last week. He is a good player. He was 14 of 20 for 112 yards against Green Bay. Left-handed on the run. That's not a bad toss. But out of bounds.
And it is 3rd down and 12 now for Wilhelm and the Bengals. 11:45 left. Wilhelm throws it over the head of Rembert. There's a flag down on the play. Mike Kroll, the top draft choice of the Denver Broncos, was in on the rush. There's Boomer with hat on. You always, when you have the golf cap on, it's day's end.
That's it. Day's done. He's got a lot to think about.
Holding against the Bengals. But what a fine blitz by Mike Kroll.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 82, offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Take a look at 51, right-hand side of your screen. Forces his way on the inside. That flushes the quarterback, Wilhelm, further than he really wanted to go. Continues on and really applies a lot of pressure, pass complete to an assistant coach.
Ricky Nattiel is back for the first time today. Returning this punt of Lee Johnson at the 31. Up to the 40-yard line, and there is yet another flag, and there's a fight. Shannon Sharp is in it. And in there for the Bengals is Alex Gordon, and they each got a hunk of each other's face masks.
You know, they actually threw a couple of punches, which is the strangest thing for 2 football players. I mean, they punched each other in the helmet. How smart is that?
Did you ever get in one of those?
No. I mean, what am I going to do? Go put some ice on my fist when I get through? You don't see a lot of fights in football. I mean, that's the reason. That's why you have all the equipment. I mean, to protect you. You just can't fight in football.
Jerry Markbright sorting things out. As once again, it was Alex Gordon of the Bengals and Shannon Sharp of the Broncos. And Sharp heard it from that guy, Dan Reeves, when he came off the sideline about getting involved in the fracas after the punt.
Number 29, during the punt on the receiving team, 10-yard penalty, 1st down, a post-possession foul.
Oh, one of those PPFs. Post-possession foul. Charlie Dimry gets hit with the penalty. And we'll be right back to Denver after this timeout. Although Gary Kubiak is warming up on the Bengals on the Bronco bench as Gaston Green carries out over the 25. Let's check in on some of the scores right now. I'll tell you what's going on in those games that are like us going on later on this afternoon. Miami's gone back ahead of Buffalo as Marino's thrown a touchdown pass to Mark Clayton. Houston well in control. Chicago in a tight game at home in the 4th quarter. And the other games, Pittsburgh leading at home, Phoenix holding on the road, and New England winning by 6 over Indianapolis. And John Elway has had a day that is just a quarterback's dream. He has done everything here today. And the Broncos lead 42-14 over Cincinnati. Nice run by Gaston Green and a 1st down for the Broncos.
Well, this is a beautiful day for Elway, a beautiful day for Gaston Green. I'm sure that many members of that offensive line will grade out very high in this game because they have protected well, they have blocked well, they have produced. The offensive line has a 100-yard runner in this opening day. So several happy players, the all-pro safeties for Denver, coming up with interceptions. A lot of people will celebrate after this game, including 70-some-odd thousand fans that are hanging out here and having a ball today.
It's a first down for the Broncos at the 33. Here's Green again. And a nice chase by the Bengal defense. Alex Gordon and David Fulcher make the tackle. We'll step out right now and go back to New York to NFL Live, and here's Marv Albert.
All right, Jim, in Buffalo, a wild...
I was watching Dick Enberg and Bill Walsh reporting from that game, and they showed an unbelievable list, Beasley, of all the unsigned players and injured players for the Dolphins, and it was amazing that they could field a team up in Buffalo.
It is amazing. The names they called out on the show, people we don't even know, but apparently they're doing a good job.
Gaston Green with another fine run as he carries out to the 36-yard line. Alfred Williams had a hand on him, and then Green got by.
Now take a look at this. This is a major league cut by a running back. He's going to the right full speed and starts bending back. You saw Alfred Green miss there. Alfred Williams, I'm sorry, missed the tackle there. He's learning a lot in this first game. I'm sure he'll have some great games to come in the future. It's very difficult when they start playing for real when you're a rookie. Things move a lot faster.
Third down 7. Oh, a shovel pass off to Steve Sewell. I'll tell you, John Elway is bringing out all the fun plays today, isn't he?
He really is. This is another perfect call. They let Alfred go. He comes flashing in and goes at the quarterback. Meanwhile, the ball was gone about 2 seconds earlier, and Sewell with an excellent run, dragging Demery for about an extra 3-4 yards. There's Alfred. There's the shovel. And just a great run, breaking tackles and dragging people at the end. This is have fun in Denver day for the Broncos.
21-yard run by Sewell. First down for the Broncos, again in Bengal territory. They already lead 42-14, and Gaston Green gets the carry. And James Francis, who has played a fine game for the Bengals and is getting up slowly after the tackle, clipped them down by the ankles. John Elway could hit a real high stone mark today. He is just 17 yards passing away from 25,000 in his career.
That is simply amazing. It's a great athlete right there, and it's a pleasure for all of us, fans, everybody alike, to be a part of his career. 25,000 yards passing.
This is Greg Lewis, who has a touchdown today. And Skip McClendon got him and brought him down. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Denver Broncos and the National Football League is prohibited. Jim Donovan and Beasley Reese on opening Sunday here in Denver. And the Broncos looking to put a bad memory season, 1990 that is, behind them when they went 5-11, are doing it quickly on the opening Sunday. This is the most points scored by a Denver team on a home opener. 42 points already here this afternoon with 6:12 left. Third down. Steve Sewell. And he will get another first down.
Now, you just have to look at a well-run play. Look at Wydell coming out front, leading, turns back. Just good blocking out front by everybody, good running, super offensive play, and now we've got a new quarterback.
John Elway comes out to a roar. It would be hard to think that he's had any better game in his career. We'll have to check that out for you. Gary Kubiak is coming in, and there's a timeout called right away. 5:18 to go in the ball game. Denver in control. Done for the day. The Bengals say thank heavens. 18 for 28 passing, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also rushed for 2 touchdowns. He also caught a pass for 24 yards.
Unbelievable.
293 yards on the day. This is Greg Lewis. And the rookie out of Washington hops and skips down inside the Bengal 30-yard line.
You know, I'm sure this game is very high on the list when it comes to single game accomplishments for John Elway. One thing is clear, it is his greatest game ever as an offensive coordinator and play caller. His play selection has been superb. He has kept Cincinnati off balance. He has taken advantage of every weakness available. He's done one great job.
2nd and 6 with 4:43 left. Greg Lewis, and the beat goes on for the Broncos inside the 10. It will be 1st and goal.
You know, that was another one of those special cuts. I mean, there was nothing at the point of attack. The hole intended was closed quickly. Everything's closed. Bounce out quickly. Nothing but bailout. You know, that's instinct. That's a great cut. There's small little great things that happen in the course of every competition in sports, and that's the beauty of it. That was a great move. A blind move. He never saw that hole.
Lewis had his first pro touchdown here today, as he scored earlier in the game. 1st and goal from the 7. Lewis again. And he's at the 5. So where did the game slip away, Beasley Reese? Did it slip away when Esiason had them 1st and goal at the 2-yard line and they're ready to get to within 7 points, and then 3 plays later it looks like he's going to be sacked and he fumbles and Warren Powers picks it up?
You know, the slipping began in Green Bay in the final exhibition game when they lost so many players to injury. In this particular game, the most critical point was, you know, when they were down at the 1-2-yard line, like you said, and Boomer Esiason dropped the ball. I mean, it could have been 21-14 at that point, and they would have been right back in it.
2nd down rather, in goal, and there's Lewis again. Down to the 3-yard line. So it will be 3rd and goal coming up. And Denver answered a big problem that killed them last year, not being able to hold on to second-half lead. And indeed, it looked as though they were starting to wilt. Remember, Esiason came out and hit on a big one to Tim McGee for a touchdown of 52 yards to get them to within 14, and then they're back in it. Then a blocked field goal. And it looks like, you know, the nightmare of 1990 is going to be realized again in 91. And yet, Dan Reeves must have preached hard to his team all during the offseason and even in the locker room at halftime. Let's hold on to the lead. And they have. This is the 13th play of this drive on 3rd and goal. And Lewis will not score his 2nd touchdown of the season on that play, as David Fulcher gets him, and we come up to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left here at Mile High Stadium in Denver, and hit one today. He's hit an upright and had one blocked, and then knocks that one through. 20-yard field goal for Treadwell, and it's 45-14. Denver adds to their lead. 45-14 on opening day. Now, each week in all of our games, we will be featuring the Canon camcorder replay of the game. So today, it's this play involving number 7, the man in the middle, John Elway, 2nd quarter. Watch this one, Beasley.
Now, you know, he calls his own play. How do you get in the huddle and call your own number? We're going to go to number 7. The key point here is the toss by Sewell. It's perfect. Right over the defender's shoulders. Now, every quarterback I've ever seen has great hands. That was an excellent replay, excellent hands by Elway. You know, they handle the ball so much. Normally, they catch it very well. He's a great athlete. He's done it all today.
And that play led to an Elway rushing touchdown, one of 2 he's had on the day. So next week, what happens? Well, for the Cincinnati Bengals, they go home. They'll play Houston. And it will be good for them to get back to Riverfront Stadium at Cincinnati. And David Treadwell and the Denver Broncos will be teeing it up on the road. They'll be taking on the LA Raiders. As a matter of fact, when we were sitting with Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator of the Broncos yesterday, he already, after the Saturday practice, was starting to look at some Raider film.
Now, you know, that that replay of Sewell throwing. That was the third time that he's completed a pass to Elway. One was for a touchdown against the Raiders.
This is the tight end, Jim Riggs. And he'll be short of the 40-yard line. 1:50 remaining. 45-14, Denver in the lead. John Elway. Oh, there's a good sight, I'm sure, for Denver fans to see John and Dan together.
Was that well-deserved or what?
And the coach of the Bengals has nobody alongside him. Sam Weish came in here so confident after his team had a fine preseason and wrapped it up with a nice win over Green Bay last week. But an expensive win, as Beasley told you about, with all of the injuries to the offensive line as Craig Taylor carries on first down. Remember again, coming into the game, Joe Walter, their great offensive lineman, he had a hamstring pull. Bruce Reimers had a hamstring. Neither played here today. Krzyzewski, their center, is playing with a very sore shoulder. And Anthony Munoz battled the flu because last week he didn't play against Green Bay because of the flu. Again, let's check in on some of the scores now from games that are going on. These are all of the games now from this afternoon. New Orleans won. David Craig broke his thumb in that game for Seattle. Kansas City's a winner. The Eagles win. Randall Cunningham injured his knee. Jim McMahon rallied them to win there. Dallas wins, and the Jets win. Now, the games that are still going on, fourth quarter. Boy, that Buffalo game's going to go right down to the final possession, obviously. Houston's going to win that game. The Bears are in a bear of a game against the Vikings. Pittsburgh in their game with San Diego. Chargers getting closer. Phoenix leading by 10 with Joe Bugle in his second year with the Cardinals. And New England with Dick McPherson winning on the road at Indianapolis. And we'll be seeing New England next week, Beasley, when they take on the Browns. 25 seconds remaining in the game. Eric Wilhelm in for Boomer Esiason. Harold Green. There's Mike Kroll. And that's ball game here in Denver today. So the top draft choice, Kroll, makes the final tackle, and Sam Weish will come across and greet Dan Reeves as Reeves and the Broncos turn in just an amazing opening day performance. The most points that they have ever scored on opening day here at Mile High Stadium, 45-14. Denver beats the Bengals and goes on to a fresh start here in the 1991 season, and the Bengals go home and lick their wounds as they get set.
She says she never doubted Walker could make it in the pros if just given a chance.